bigger team India. And it was extraordinary. I can tell you those 15 hours, Shivani, no one slept. Everyone was just like old friends. Adda, if I could put it, there was one Adda where Ravindra Jadeja, Rohit Sharma. There was one Adda where Rishabh Pant and Akshar Patel was there. They were coming to us, singing, dancing, sharing the joke around, just asking, media में क्या चल रहा है, दिल्ली में क्या हो रहा है, TV channel आप लोग क्या कर रहे हो? So those like childlike enthusiasm, because they anticipate, but I don't think they would have this generation of players. Maybe Rohit and Virat are aware of this kind of reception, but I don't think the newer generation could ever imagine this kind. The people will turn up in such massive numbers.
Did you imagine it, Vimal? Did you imagine it? I'm not sure if you can see the visuals exactly, but this is.
No, I can.
I thought that people were
of the Singh Dhoni's voice in 2007. I was part of CNN at that point of time. So, and that remains to be my best moment of coverage, because I have never seen such thing. Sharma has watched 21-22, winning the World Cup, and then now winning as a captain. The similar thing, if I could put it in media world, I was just a rookie reporter, covered at that event, and now seeing it. So that in a way is a full circle for me as well off the field.
Yes.
Following this thing.
Full circle for a lot of other individuals as well who are part of this team. Rohit Sharma is one of them. Rahul Dravid is one of them, because 2007 stands out for him for a different reason. And it was in the Caribbean that India faced a very humiliating exit with him as captain in the ODI World Cup. And then to be back in the Caribbean and then coach and winning that title. These are some of the visuals coming in from inside the terminal now at the Mumbai airport. You can see a sea of fans taking videos as the Indian team is escorted out by security and others. You can see Jaisha at the very front. This is the team that will just exit the Mumbai terminal in just a bit from now, and you can expect them to board that open bus for that parade, which is going to be the celebration of a lifetime for many fans. You know, as Vimal mentioned the 2007 World Cup, I remember that as well, and I was also a rookie reporter at that time. And the thing about that World Cup was it came out of the blue, right? The T20 format in itself was new. Nobody knew what to expect of it. MS Dhoni was this young man chosen out of nowhere to lead the Indian side, and then suddenly we beat Pakistan in the final, and what a final that was. So naturally India erupted with the emotion that we witnessed then, because it was the first World Cup title after 83 as well, and we found new heroes after such a long time. Your memories of that time, that World Cup title, T20 title, and today? Ayaz, I think you've put yourself on mute. Could you please unmute yourself?
Yeah, so Shivani, 2007 was extraordinary for the fact that nobody expected India to win.
Yes.
The best players, so to speak, from the Indian, from India were not there. There was no Tendulkar, there was no Dravid, there was no Ganguly. The big names weren't in that team led by MS Dhoni. And then the romance of beating Pakistan twice, first in the super over and then in the final, in the last over. So that kind of triggered off this, mania for T20 globally, not just in India, but India certainly. At the end of the day, the difference between then and now is that at this point in time, for many years, the people in India have been expecting the Indian team to win because there's such an abundance of talent. We've been, and as Murli Karthik mentioned, that we've been in the final of the World Test Championship. We've been in the knockouts of the last World Cup, both ODI World Cups twice, lost in the final last year. We lost in the T20 final once, been in the semi-final twice. So there was this kind of growing despair and despondency that, what next? Kya karna chahiye? How do we win a title? And that's been achieved now. So there is a massive outflowing of emotion, as you can see on the streets of Mumbai today. It's just the mammoth. The kind of reception that they're going to get is mammoth.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the numbers of the for itself. Murli, can I just ask you, what is it that do you think this Indian team managed to do differently to finally cross that hurdle? You know, that's the secret sauce that everybody wants to know. What is so different with what this team did 8 months ago in the ODI World Cup, where they were unbeaten into the final, and what is it that they managed to do this time that they crossed the final hurdle? Karthik, according to you.
Look, I wish I could answer you in totality, but what I feel is that after having seen so many setbacks, sometimes you look at the way you played, and I've said this before, and I think I said it on your platform only during the World Cup, that you think of WTC the 2 times when we have lost. We did everything right. We played like India, and then whether it was selection errors or whether it was just the way we played, possibly we played tepid cricket going into those Test Championship finals, including the selection. You look at the World Cup finals 2023, just the way we dominated, just the way we played. I think the only 2 people who played like that in the finals as batters were only possibly Virat and Rohit. Till the time they were out there, it looked a very different pitch against Australia. You think of what panned out when we started bowling. There were quite a few things which could have happened, which could have gone right for us in that initial spell from Bumrah and Siraj. They kept beating the bat. I think they got an edge as well, but Travis Head managed to win it. Possibly this time around, just that belief of having been knocked down quite a few times, that what can go wrong? We have done it again and again. We've been there and we have missed out. It has to turn around for us. Just that belief. You look at 30 of 30 and just the way the body language was of everybody. Yes, dream work by Jasprit Bumrah. Great bowling by Hardik Pandya to get those crucial breakthroughs. But just the body language around the group. Everyone else was praying. Yes, there is a bit of divine intervention as well, because we are religious people. We believe in prayers, and imagine billion and a bit prayers around the world praying for India. And I'm pretty sure everybody must have been glued to the TV. Everybody must have been thinking 30 of 30, it's in South Africa's kitty.
Yeah.
But things turned around, and I feel just the body language and self-belief was absolutely outstanding from this side. And also, as Ajay mentioned, sometimes you need to make changes for the right reason. Everybody says change is constant. Everybody says change is required. But change has to be for the right reason. And I just felt just the way they continued. There was so much talk about Shivam Dube being benched. Imagine the crucial knock of Shivam Dube in the finals. Everybody was having a go at Virat Kohli and his credibility. Imagine what he did. So sometimes sport is not as we see it. Sport is something different, especially team sport. As a team is where you get the accolades from. Not as former cricketers, not as journalists, not as public. You get your accolades from your team members. When your team member comes and says, when your coach says, when your others say, well done, well played, we know what you've done for us. That's where everything comes from. And I feel that has been quite evident in this side, just the way Rohit has led. Everybody gravitates towards him. You can see the comfort factor around the side. So all of that put together, I think, culminated in the victory for me, Shivani. And funnily, I just need to mention this. When I look at this, I've never been part of a World Cup team or World Cup, let alone a World Cup victory. So for me, the closest I feel to this was in 2004 for the first time when we went to Pakistan as the senior side and we won the one-day championship and the Test series. I don't know what, after 50 years or whatever. And when we landed back in Delhi, I can still imagine. I still know for a fact that everybody was there when the team landed. I'm pretty sure none of the check-in happened, none of the flights took off that day. Everybody was touching every one of us as if we were some saintly, godly figures, and touching us would transport them into something else. I can never forget that reception. I'm pretty sure this is a World Cup win. That was a win against Pakistan in both Tests and ODIs. This is a World Cup victory, and it's come after a long time. So as Ayaz said, it's an outpouring of emotions. And as I said, I just feel it's just a sense of relief coming out from everyone.
Yes, and this could trigger many, many happy moments for the Indian cricket setup, because the mental shackles could finally be broken. This is going to produce a generation of cricketers, even after the retirements that we've seen, a whole host of, a core of a squad that knows what it's like to win a World Cup title. That's always very important. This Indian team was mentally certainly better prepared than this first ICC World Cup finals. very closely, particularly the partnership of Rohit and Rahul. In camp previous across directions, we've got the Indian team, I think, finally walking out after much delay from the Mumbai airport to cheers from thousands of fans who have gathered there by terminal. We're expecting the team to walk out any second now. You see some of the officials of the MCA and otherwise coming out first. Ashish Shelar there, and I think a lot of the security personnel have already geared up to escort the team to that open bus where the parade is on which the parade is going to take place. The team was expected to start its victory parade around 5 p.m. It's much delayed as it's expected to go sometimes in situations like this. It's been a whirlwind, 24 to 48 hours for the Indian team, where a special flight was arranged for them. The distance is as long as, it is in one stretch, about a 16-hour long flight. Then they came into the national capital, met the Prime Minister, took another flight, and have landed in Mumbai now. These are the first visuals of the Indian team, victorious Indian team at the World T20 or the T20 World Cup 2024 walking out. Rohit Sharma, Jasprit Bumrah, Arshpreet, all stars of the World Cup, top of the table for India with the most runs and the most wickets. We've got Hardik Pandya, I think, who's carrying the trophy with his sunglasses. He's obviously in the mold of Chris Gayle, universe boss, and a lot of swagger as far as Hardik Pandya is concerned. He's coming back to his own after a period of real pain for 6 months, and he's rejoicing in that moment. Those visuals coming out. Siraj there, he talked about very passionately about what this team means to him, what Rohit Sharma's captaincy means to him, even though he wasn't featuring in the matches. Look at that. Look at that, Hardik Pandya, sunglasses on in the evening as he walks out and with the World Cup on his shoulder. Rohit Sharma getting escorted to that open bus where the parade, on which the parade is going to take place. They're going to possibly meet their families or other a little bit before this gets going. The team really rejoicing as far as this moment is concerned, and they should really hold on and capture this in their minds because it's rare. It doesn't happen too often, even for a side as talented as India. It has taken 11 years before an ICC title is coming to India. So you see them getting onto a team bus of sorts. This is not the bus on which the parade is going to take place. You see the likes of Virat Kohli taking their window seat, and of course Virat earlier was flummoxed, almost taken aback at the number of people who were collected in his home city, Delhi, at the Delhi airport earlier this morning, because there were a lot of people, young boys and girls as well, and at 5 a.m. in the morning expecting their arrival. Jasprit Bumrah there, star of the World Cup, star of the final. Many people calling him the greatest bowler ever that India has produced. Certainly right up there and not done yet. And what he can achieve in World Cup, lots of history to be written for a young player like Jasprit Bumrah. As long as he can stay healthy, this is going to be a great time for him. The kind of experience that the Indian team has brought to the fore, culmination of many finals, many semi-finals they have played, really it just struck beautifully and came together at the right time, at the right moment, in clutch moments in the final. And it was clear from dropping to the ground, Hardik Pandya bursting into tears, others jubilant, some quietly, some very overtly. It was very clear what this World Cup title meant for this team. And look at the fans who are there on the sidelines inside the parking areas of the Mumbai airport as well. We'll continue to keep an eye on the also joining. Karthik continues to be with us. Karthik, your sense of where this can take the Indian team. Yes, there have been retirements in the T20 segment, but I think we've kind of built up to those, built up to the time where we knew that is going to happen, and we have the second generation ready. But overall, for the rest of the formats as well, what do you see this win doing to the Indian setup?
One thing which is very good about our country and our setup is that there is no dearth of talent. Firstly, Shivani. Second thing is that the game itself continues to inspire so many youngsters to take it up. Just think of 1983 and what it did to a huge generation of players. Think of 2011, what it did to a huge generation of players. And I'm pretty sure that this is also going to be the same. You want young people to take up the sport based on what your country has done, what these wonderful cricketers have done. And these guys are role models for so many people. And just even apart from that, as I said before, even if we had a Women's Trophy, and I'm pretty sure the sport is so strong, the game is so popular, that a generation of young cricketers would be taking up the game. So, and also for me, just as a nation, it just, I just feel that they would be extremely happy. Just think of the billions of prayers which happen on a daily basis for all these players. Everybody's got a fan following, but just for those people, it's for the country. It's not just for the team alone. It's for the entire nation. All the Indians who live outside, all the prayers, all the support that we get, irrespective of whatever happens. Yes, the initial anguish, the initial criticism is always bound to follow if we didn't do well or if we don't do well. But just the amount of prayers that continue to pour through, I think it's just an answer for all those things. And I just feel, I just felt a sense of relief for the players themselves. So yeah. I just hope that it continues to go from strength to strength. That's all I can pray for and hope for.
Murli, Karthik, many thanks for joining us. I know you have to leave us, so I do appreciate your time. Many congratulations to you and the rest of the country and all the cricket fraternity for this title. And I know all of you guys can feel for each other. Vimal Kumar, you want to add something about, the kind of witnessing cricket?
Definitely, India is very, very fortunate in terms of cricket. We have a popular. Whenever you see many players, playing cricket, night cricket, gully cricket, and cricket is not now limited to bigger cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore. Now you see there a lot of talent coming up from the smaller cities. We have seen players like Suresh Raina from UP, Kuldeep coming from small places. So that's the best part of it. And BCCI continuing exploring those areas. BCCI is not like doing well, but in spite of that, they are exploring. They are putting their hard work, to in the grassroots level. Also, they have been working, and that supply chain is very, very good for the Indian team. If you have good supply chain, that keeps the main team also on toes and make them keep performing. So in that way, we are lucky, and also that crowd, you can see that how emotional our country is, and that's how we are actually. We are very emotional. Yes, of course, this trophy has come after a long time. We have been waiting. We were very close few times in the last few years. And also, I think our team has been doing well too. So we are expecting that it would come. It would come now. To Test Championship, we were lost in the finals, then World Cup, and this tournament. In fact, Indian team and also all Indians want it desperately. Because we have been doing well, and luckily, and we have won it.
Chaitanya Nanda, former cricketer, is also with us. And Vimal Kumar as well. Vimal, I'll just come to you with a question I had in mind for you. But Chaitanya, I just want to give you an opportunity to express what you feel as a cricketer, as an athlete. We know cricket is special for us. Other sports have caught up in recent times. But look at what's transpiring in Mumbai. And that is only possible after a World Cup or a big cricket title.
See, this is the day, this is the moment every person wants to live, every athlete wants to live. And being an ex-cricketer, being an Indian person, I'm really enjoying this moment. I'm, even I'm feeling the decibel noise when I'm sitting in, so far from it. Just on the mic, I can hear that decibel noise, how big the noise is. But Shivani, I just want to say one thing. I was hearing when you were saying that Hardik Pandya brought that trophy out of that airport. This shows how this team is thinking, how well they are well knitted. Because this was the crowd few months back was booing, Hardik Pandya, and the team wanted now these people to shout for Hardik Pandya, chant for Hardik Pandya. This shows how well they are thinking, how well they are planning their things. So this shows how well this team is united as a family. So I'm very proud that this decision was taken, that Hardik Pandya, who was booed by this crowd, now they are chanting Hardik Pandya when he's bringing out that trophy. So
Yes,
what a relief for that person, what a relief for the team. So these
And
are
what
the
a
things which
turnaround,
shows how
this is
well
what-
we
this
were
is what
planned.
because it can truly bring you down to a point of break, and then take you up high again, as long as you keep working hard. And I think it was also Virat Kohli who said that if you keep the ego and everything else aside, everything will come to you. These are some more fresh visuals. This is also one of those portions of the salute that was given to the Indian cricket team as it landed, I think, at the Mumbai airport. You see cars with the Indian tricolor leading the plane on the tarmac. What a beautiful visual that is coming in from the airport as well. Let's go to Vimal. If you were to point out what is the difference between us being able to cross the hurdle this time around versus the disappointments we've had to face in the last 2 to 3 years, or specifically under Rohit and Rahul, what would you say?
I think if you were to just simply simplify it, although it is not easy to just pinpoint one factor, but just for the sake of, since we are just dissecting what went right, I think it is absolutely Rohit Sharma's leadership. His leadership is something special. I have seen the likes of Saurav Ganguly, Anil Kumble, Rahul Dravid, and Virat Kohli, all the leading in a different way. But Rohit Sharma's leadership is entirely different. The way he connects to each and every member, forget the players, even the support staff, the support staff nobody gives attention to. Forget support staff, even someone like us, outsider, the so-called outsider, we are not part of the team. He makes everyone so comfortable around. Once he realizes that this guy, whether it is from media or support staff, he has the Indian cricket interest in heart, he will go out of his way. You see the symbolic. I just saw the visual. Who is holding the trophy when they are coming out of
Hardik
Mumbai?
Pandya.
It is Hardik Pandya.
Yes.
So you can imagine, he just want to give a message. Listen, Mumbai, you might be calling me Mumbai ka Raja, but for me, Hardik is Mumbai ka Raja. The way you treat, sometimes you don't need words to express, your that's a sign of true leader. And I think this is the way this Jugalbandi of Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid. Both I have seen Sivan in the last 2 years. I have never seen Rahul Dravid so happy, light, in a funny. Rahul Dravid was always studious,
Very stoic.
serious. So I could see that Rohit Sharma's dry sense of humor, his more earthly nature,
Yes.
Influencing Dravid. Similarly, Rohit has always been a great leader. But what he learned from Rahul Dravid, probably, the methodical things, the importance of numbers and everything. So it in many ways it was the ideal combination. And the
But
amount
Rohit
of
is known as very laid back, isn't it? That shows and reflects in his batting too. Just the sheer time that he had, and how he wowed us with his talent. And sometimes he was criticized for not pricing his wicket too high, not putting a cost on his wicket, and gifting it away despite his talent. But that laid back, very casual, very friendly, earthly attitude, that seems to be his forte in captaincy.
I think you put it rightly. This Indian Shivani, I've been traveling with this Indian team. This Indian team, for me, even before the World Cup, and I would have said that even if they would have lost, their most well organized unit, the happiest dressing room. Because if you look at there were 7 captains in this Hardik, he has led India. Most of them lead their IPL, respective IPL teams. And yet, when the Team India left aside their egos, they everyone played. You look at when you talk about the man of the series, it was Jasprit Bumrah, a bowler. First time in the history of the T20 World Cup, a bowler got the man of the tournament. But he could have been equally challenged by the likes of Rohit Sharma, who got over 250 runs. He could have been challenged by Akshar Patel, who had wonderful cameos as a top order batter as well as a very economical bowler in the middle overs. It could have been Hardik Pandya, who rose to the occasions when it mattered most, whether it was the final over in the most difficult situation or batting against Pakistan. So overall, if you want to point out one factor, one hero, it will be impossible to do that.
Yeah.
It is actually Team India, and Rohit insisted that we are not going for the numbers. No milestone, no 100. That's why, and the captain led from the front. When he was almost on the verge of getting a memorable 100, he did not stop. He went for the sixes, despite the assaulting the Australian bowler,
Yes.
someone like Mitchell Stark for 29 runs. This victory is very, very sweet.
Yeah,
very,
and
very
actually,
special
if you
to
look
Bangla.
at the statistics, no, Vimal, if you look at team statistics, India is actually not that up high. But what matters is that everybody pitched in when it truly came to their opportunity. After Rohit Sharma, who was the highest scorer for India and the second highest in this World Cup, it's Rishabh Pant. Now, normally you wouldn't think of Rishabh Pant, who has scored, the second highest runs for India. But that just goes on to show that this wasn't about individual performances, but I think it was a balance of the two, because yes, Rohit led from the front with the bat, Jasprit and Arshpreet led from the front with the ball, and then the others contributed as and when required. I asked, you've seen Rohit Sharma from very close quarters. Your sense of what makes him a very good captain? He's won, of course, scores of IPL titles, and now he's managed to bag a title for the Indian team as well. So, what is it about his style that makes him successful?
Well, I mean, you said that people thought he was laid back. I think he's a very easygoing guy. He's a very genial chap, but he's a very keen observer of what happens on the field. He's got cricket in his DNA; it runs in his veins, and you can make out from the way he bats. He's a bionic batsman, as we know. He's got his own approach, his own form of aggression, which sets up the game for his team. And he believes that the judicious use of pace and spin bowling. There have been times when captains have been forced to use only spinners or only fast bowlers, and it's not only in this tournament that we saw this judicious blend of his choice of bowlers. It's also in the ODI World Cup, but for the last match, India won every match. We saw that in the Test series against England, which we won. But the way he used Jasprit Bumrah when the pitches were all turning tracks, and
Is he also, but sorry to interrupt you, Ayaz, is he also lucky to have possibly the best bowling crop that India has had in a long time, or the best bowler India has ever produced? This is what everybody is saying about Jasprit Bumrah now.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously, Jasprit Bumrah is also a product of Rohit's captaincy in Mumbai Indians, in many ways, So, yes, Jasprit played first for India under Virat Kohli, and that actually swung things around, put focus on fast bowling to win overseas. So you have to give him credit, him and Ravi Shastri, for that. But I think that Rohit is in many ways what Vimal said, he's a player's player. So he gets very close and personal and strikes up a rapport with most players. And the best rapport I think we had was with Rahul Dravid. Rahul Dravid can be very sedate, very stoic, very process driven, which is not a bad thing when you look back now, because Rohit is so much with the spirit of enterprise and adventure and aggression. In this campaign, you needed somebody, so that it doesn't spill over into recklessness. So make sure that, yes, and the captain leads. Ultimately, the captain is the most pivotal figure. But I also think, Shivani, that this trio of Rohit Sharma, Rahul Dravid, and Ajit Agarkar, their alignment, they're up on the same page, thinking, the objective is defined, putting strategy and vision into place has played a very big role. I mean, look at this team when there were lots of compunctions. You've got 3 left-arm spinners. Was it one too many? A lot of people argue it was. But actually, all 3. Look at what Akshar Patel achieved in this tournament. Arshdeep, very fine left-arm spinner, left-arm swing bowler, But this team didn't have Mohammad Shami, didn't have KL Rahul, had 5 or 6 left-hand batsmen. So there were all kinds of questions still persisting. Though the team, you're right. I mean, this is a fabulous team now, but a lot of it is now being said in hindsight. Because the
Hindsight.
team
No, absolutely. Nothing succeeds like success, and success can paper over some of the cracks. And even a loss like the one in the ODI World Cup a few months ago, even though the campaign was virtually spotless, can bring a lot of ghosts back and a lot of questions out into the forefront. Let's also go. These are some fresh visuals that we were getting earlier of the team bus, I think, making its way closer to the airport or wherever the point where the team is going to get on to the bus is concerned. And there are some other visuals coming in from inside. And those shots, of course, that top angle from Marine Drive is the most beautiful sight right now. We earlier got some visuals of the bus also moving through the crowd, and it's going to be quite a nice parade, slow moving, inching towards the Wankhede, but nevertheless a moment to cherish. Let's go across to both Ajay Ratra and Chaitanya Nanda as well. Ajay, you want to add to what the team can do or what the team would need now that Dravid is no longer the coach? How do you continue that kind of a coach captain camaraderie with a new man in the dressing room?
Shivadi, I think in this tournament, what I have felt in the last few occasions, India reached to the final, and I think they have missed the final punch. I think they have done their homework really well, and Rohit and Rahul made strategies in terms of roles also. If you see, they have picked Shivam Dubey, and there are other options as well in the squad of 15, and then they made him play. If you see that impact inning, if you see number 5, number 6, he was batting and 23 odd runs, maybe 10, 11 balls. So they knew that this guy, what he can do that. And this time team was more balanced as well in terms of number of all rounders, and everyone, like if you take name of Akshar, Shivam Dubey, they have performed their roles really well when the team required the most. And generally, in one tournament, if you see, there is a 1-2 batters who take the team, and then others contribute little bit. But this
Around
time,
them,
they
yes.
were depending on when any particular one batsman, one in one. Rohit, yes, of course, he was leading scorer, and Rohit performed really well in one match. Hardik Pandya did well in the finals. It was Virat Kohli. Basically, it looks that their thoughts are very clear about their team selection, about their roles. They really use Akshar Patel well. They sometimes they have sent number 4, 5 to get few quick runs, and he can take that risk. And after that, the other following batsman, they have capitalized on that. So I think more of they have learned really well from the past, which they lost in the finals.
It all came together in this final, isn't it? But the thing is, you can make all the plans in the world. You need players or the individuals on the day have to execute those plans. And I think that is the difference sometimes between being a winning side or champion side versus losing out. Chaitanya, you agree with that? It was just the fact that plans are always there, right? All dressing rooms are prepared and ready with plans. It's always about executing it in the middle. And if you look at this final, every moment is one of those moments where somebody executed their plans or what their role was to perfection.
Yes, Shivani, as I was saying, it's the most important thing in this tournament. If you see from the last tournament, it's the thoughts clarity. So basically, you have to have a clarity when you think about anything. When you are clear in your mindset that I'm gonna do this and I will not change my plan, because what happens when as a bowler, when you start running from your run up and you get close to the wicket, and if you are not very clear in your mind, you have a second thought, let's try this. So what happens, you're not able to execute that plan what you wanted to execute. So when you have all the clarities, if you see the 50 over World Cup, there was not the clarity when we were playing the final, what kind of wicket we should play, what kind of a game plan we should have. Should we attack or should we anchor the innings or should we bat completely? But if you see this tournament, we have this plan clarity that we are going to go after the bowling. Rohit Sharma gonna take the ballers to the corners. Virat is gonna also stay there on the wicket. He was not able to do it, but that was the clarity they have. And Shivam Dube coming in, he's gonna go and attack. Hardik gonna play his role as the attacking player. So everybody has that clarity in the mind. Surya Kumar Yadav and the bowling. If you see the bowling also, you have the clarity. Yes, when we will playing in USA, we will go with more seamers. When we come to West Indies, where the spin will happen, spin will start happening. It will help the spinners. We will have Kuldeep Yadav in the team. So this shows that we have that clarity, complete clarity in this tournament. And that's what I'm saying. If you see, in the morning, Rishabh Pant was bringing the trophy out of the Indian Delhi airport. Now Hardik Pandya brings the trophy out of the Mumbai airport. It shows the clarity decision making is going. And as you asked the question, what will happen with the new coach? See, when the new coach will come, the new captain will sit down. It will take some time to get the plans going together, because everybody comes with their own set of plans, own set of thinking.
Set of ideas.
So just saying. Yes, just saying right now what is going to happen. Let's enjoy the moment which we are in, rather focusing on what's going to happen in the future. This is the time every Indian should enjoy, because it came after 17 years, and